What's going on to you, Capricorns? You have the Tower Sun card, and then you also have the Page of Cups. We're back to the Dragon Tarot. I will get more Tarot decks, by the way, as time go on. Don't you worry about that. I'm going to have to anyway. But the point that I'm trying to make here with you, Capricorns, is so a lot of you just exhibit your own energy around this time. There might be some distractions around you, Capricorns, and you don't care at all. Um, if it's a distraction, if it's something that pops up that you need to learn the lesson of, you Capricorns will most definitely actually address the situation. But if it's like a side quest or something that you don't necessarily have to take on, it's another person's problem that they have with you, and it's not really gonna affect you in your life any, then you basically allow those people to handle their own problems on their own. And people think right now that you're very self-centered for it, right? Some people may think that, again, Page of Cups, that you might be self-centered. You might only be concentrating on yourself. And it's like, what should you be concentrating on? Should you Capricorns be concentrating on the world and trying to become worldly or trying to be of the world? Like, what are we talking about right now, right? And so there's this. So now, next couple of cards that you got are the Empress and the Two of Wands for you. So the Empress, again, you just got on your grind. You Capricorns just started. You just got focused. That's all that is. Instead of you Capricorns, you Capricorns got an opportunity and you started using that opportunity to the best of your abilities. And so that's what happened. You know, you're not playing yourself. You're not being on some dysfunctional stuff. You're not doing any of that. You Capricorns are basically just being functional. You're just doing your own thing. You're just minding your own business. And because of that, you're in a place where you really, like, again, all the five senses: see, smell, taste, touch, feel. See, smell, taste, touch, hear your own energy, as you should. That's called being in the zone. So many people are distracted by not being in the zone, right? Constantly thinking about what the next person is doing. No, you Capricorns are focused on what you've got going on. And I've talked about this before. You want to keep your ears close to the streets, but then you also want to pay attention to what you've got going on. You want to have a good mix of that. Once you're doing both of those things to where you're aware of your surroundings enough, but you also concentrate on what you've got going on, that's the Krabby Patty secret formula. And so that's the Krabby Patty secret formula. And so the situation with that is that that's what you Capricorns are doing, keeping your ears close to the streets, but then you're focused on what you got focused on. And what I mean when I say keep your ears close to the streets, I mean be aware of your surroundings. Don't be so into yourself to the point where you're out of touch with what's going on. And so the Empress and the Two of Wands for you Capricorns, this is really about how it is that, you're not letting anyone or anything really get in the way of that. And so now it's a situation for you where the Two of Wands is really about how you ultimately are doing your thing. The Two of Wands is really about you essentially, living your life. If people tend to have a problem with the way that you live in your life, I'm saying that you Capricorns don't legitimately care, because who gave them the authority anyway? It's like the same thing when it comes to people who, tend to have a problem with people who want to go overseas and live their lives. It's like, what are we doing? Like, why do so many people care so much about where a group of people go to live their lives? If they're not going into the country to cause mischief or to be dysfunctional, why do they care so much, right? And then it's like it's this weird sheeping, this weird staring of, no, you have to get it in with people from the United States specifically. And it's like, why? Who wrote that? Where are you getting this from? Who wrote that? In what book? Where's the rule book? What are we talking about? Who gave this person or these people that much authority in the first place? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Where are we really going with this? And so a lot of you Capricorns are doing things. I'm going to tell you what it is. You Capricorns are doing things that are conventional. You're on some left-hand path type stuff. What you Capricorns are doing, which Capricorn is naturally left-hand path anyway. Capricorn is left-hand path. Virgo, Gemini is left-hand path. Aries and Scorpio is left-hand path. You understand what I'm saying? And then this is one of the reasons why I've said time and time again, left-hand path, right? That's left pillar. I can show you it. Left pillar, Capricorn, Aries and Scorpio, Virgo and Gemini. Mercury, Mars, Saturn. Then right-hand path is Venus, so that's Taurus and Libra. Jupiter, so that's Pisces and Sagittarius, and this is Neptune, that is Pisces. So so this is naturally right-hand path, this is naturally left-hand path. I know it's switched, but this is naturally left-hand path, this is naturally right-hand path. And so you Capricorns naturally are doing what comes the best to you to do, focusing on yourself. But a lot of people, the problem is that you're doing it unconventionally. You have a lot of people that want you to be of the world because other people are striving to be of the world. That's what being considered normal is. Being of the world, right? Being on a scene 24 hours, being up in everybody's business. Oh, being a part of the drama, being a part of the melodramatics. And you Capricorns choosing to be like, you know what? Nah, you'll keep your ears close to the streets and you'll deal with the drama that naturally, organically comes to you, but you're not going to run around looking for it. That's part of the thing that they don't like. And so now you have the King of Swords and the King of Wands. The King of Swords. The King of Swords and the King of Wands. Yeah, I said it right. Look too different for a second. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, for you Capricorns, this is about something that you wanted to be like this. Because you Capricorns probably told yourselves anyway that if you got yourself the opportunity, you would focus for real on what you're doing. And all it is that you're doing is just fulfilling what you said you was going to do in the first place. So it's not like you Capricorns was lying to anybody or you were lying to yourself. You Capricorns meant everything that you said you were going to do. You have the opportunity, and so you're literally using the opportunity the way that you should have. Sometimes you have people who get an opportunity and then they get lazy. That's not what you Capricorns are doing, and you love this, you know? I don't know why anybody would knock against these readings. Like, you're on top of your game, you're on point. Why would anybody want to hear anything else? But whatever, right? And so the King of Wands is about also how, again, like, you have obstacles, you have things that get in the way. But what I'm saying here is, right, the King of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Cups, you have your emotions, right? You have things, obstacles that get in the way. These two cards, right? Again, proving my point even more, the Judgment. You have things that get in the way. A lot. But you know why this, another reason too, why this keeps popping up too, it's also to show and prove that you Capricorns are determined to make things go your way. And you're willing to learn. You're willing to either stay stubborn or change, right? If you need to change. And so the situation with that is that there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're supposed to be doing. There's times when it comes to doing these readings over the summer, I had two people literally tiling the floor in my apartment. Did I stop? I even brought one of them on camera in a Scorpio video during the summer. Did I stop doing what it is that I was doing? Did I stop making these videos? No, the videos still got made. I just made the videos with the door open. Like, there's all kind of things that happen during a 24-hour clock cycle, right? Like, all kind of stuff. But this shows the determination that you Capricorns actually have to succeed. You have things going on with you all the time, or maybe not necessarily all the time, but a lot. It's just that people don't know about it because you Capricorns are not the ones to complain about it anyway, right? And then not only that too, but also the work you put in pays you back. So why would you Capricorns be upset? You Capricorns are happy to go through the little obstacles and little dysfunctions that you go through, because you know at the end of the day, you're going to get paid. And it's not a matter of payment just in finances. It's a matter of you solve that obstacle, but not only did you solve it now and for the future. You got out ahead in front of it. You were proactive. And so the situation is that the Knight of Pentacles now, you being delivered from having to think about such things, right? You just understand that things are going to naturally occur organically. It is what it is, right? You Capricorns are becoming more flexible, and that flexibility is what's working for you. It's making you Capricorns, your own flexibility that you found within yourself is making you even more astute. It's putting you in a position where it's more advantageous to your own self to be this way. And so the Knight of Pentacles, again, you're cashing in, you're banking in. Like what? Why wouldn't you Capricorns want that? And so now you have the Empress. And when I say cashing in, I'm not just talking about, again, materially, like I was talking about, or I just referred to, right? I mean it job, I mean it in life. You know how to speak to people. You're not as tight. Capricorn is like a, 2024, you were like a tightly capped bottle, a tightly capped bottle, a bottle that doesn't want to, the cap that doesn't want to pop off. And now you Capricorns, basically, you know how to communicate with other people. You communicate better, right? And what I mean when I say you communicate better, I mean from the perspective of you Capricorns can come across or get across your thoughts. Sometimes Capricorns can rub people the wrong way because you trying to tell a person something, but at the same time, you're trying to tell a person something, but it may not necessarily be the case. And so people can chastise you for it because they're like, well, you Capricorns think you know so much. How do you know? Right? The Capricorns, y'all are more observant now. Now you can make proper assessments, right? So the things that you say, right, they are a proper assessment. And people can say, how did you know that? Because it's a proper assessment. You know how to socialize better. Capricorn, a lot of y'all used to have like little issues with socializing because you felt so at odds or by yourself to the point where you understood that being too cut off it's not a good thing. And so what did y'all do? Y'all started building bridges, and it makes you feel good because that's what Capricorn is supposed to do anyway. You're supposed to build bridges. Remember, Capricorn is supposed to create world influence. How are you going to create a worldly influence if you don't know how to communicate to other people? If you don't know how to reach out and affect people in a way where they want to know you, right? So let's clarify the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, excuse me. Oh, some of these cards fell, excuse me about that. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, so let's clarify the Knight of Pentacles. You have the Three of Cups, Seven of Swords, King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and then you have the Six of Wands. I'll hold up the cards for you to clarify the Knight of Pentacles, right? You have the Three of Cups, Seven of Swords, and then you have the King of Pentacles, right? You're doing what you're supposed to do. Three of Cups, Seven of Swords. You're getting to know people. You're social. You're more approachable. People like you more. You can start conversations with a whole lot of different people. you're content because you're able to associate with people and get to know people. And what I'm also seeing here is that you're letting things be what they are. If people come up with excuses that are stupid to not like you, you're letting it happen, because those are people who are going to come around you or who are going to be jealous than a mug anyway. And so the Ten of Swords and the Six of Wands here represents how a lot of you are in a position where, for you Capricorns, this is more so about how you're doing your thing. You know, you're doing your thing. You're enjoying your life. Um, you know, you're letting those same individuals think whatever they want to think, because it's not about them. And so, yes, see, some of y'all was trying to, this is what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be dialed in. This is what you're supposed to do. You have some people who live their entire lives and they never get into a meditative state. It's not good. You know, that's it though. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. As of right now, we're at 29,168 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. If you want to come through and get a personal reading, the link to that is in the comment section below. Call the link tree link. Peace, Cap.